I heard all kinds of things. Like it's almost like schizophrenia, you know, and it's like my demons. I was like fighting my demons constantly, you know. I could hear people under the bed. I would look for people under the bed that weren't there, and I would turn off all the lights. So my name is Rosemary Fanzo. I got a sobriety date of May 2nd, 2020. For that, I'm truly grateful, you know. My childhood wasn't that bad. On my dad's side, it was like no addictions at all, you know. Everyone like was into God and everything. Like on my mom's side, there was a lot of addictions, and I grew up like fast life, you know. I grew up idolizing my uncles, and that wasn't always the smartest thing, you know. My drug of choice was methamphetamines and alcohol. So with meth, what I enjoyed about it was the escape from reality, you know. It was like I didn't have to feel anything, and with the alcohol, it just kind of cleared my head a little bit. I felt like I could be me, you know. I mean, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel the pain of losing my kids. I didn't feel the pain of having to go to prison or getting set up. I didn't feel the pain of being detached from my family. Like, I didn't feel any pain at all, and I was okay with that. The first drug I tried was marijuana. I was 12 years old, and my cousin's friend asked me if I was just like my cousin and handed me some weed, and I smoked it, and it got me really stoned. I mean, like, I liked the experience, but I felt like I couldn't move either at the same time, you know. The craziest thing I ever experienced. So I got a hold of like bad drugs, and I went into meth psychosis for about 2.5 months. And I was so scared for my life that I would cry myself to sleep every night, and finally at like 6 o'clock in the morning from crying, I would just finally fall asleep from being so tired. And my grandma, I would have to sleep in the bed with my grandma because my family was going to admit me in the psych ward, and they didn't know how to handle me. I'd sleep in the bed with my grandma, and she'd always get up in the middle of the night and pee. And when she got back in bed, I just knew it wasn't my grandma, you know, and I was too scared to turn around and look, and that's a really messed up feeling, you know. I was in like complete meth psychosis. Like,
what's meth psychosis?
So like I was hearing voices, and like I heard all kinds of things. Like it's almost like schizophrenia, you know, and it's like my demons. I was like fighting my demons constantly, you know. I could hear people under the bed. I would look for people under the bed that weren't there, and I would turn off all the lights and like look out the window because I could hear them. And like I remember I would take a shower and I could hear ew while I was showering, and so I'd like grab a towel and put it over me, and then I'd have a towel underneath that towel to dry myself off because I could hear people and thought people were watching me all the time. So what made me realize that I needed help was obviously meth psychosis. And I would have like a moment of sobriety, you know, but I didn't have all these tools that I know now, and I would just keep relapsing, you know. And I had a really good job. I was working at OU, and I had my own apartment. And then I relapsed again, and I just started messing up, and then I started to slip back into that mindset. I started to get paranoid. I started to have more screenshots on my phone, and I could feel myself slipping back into that. And like, my sanity is the most important thing to me, you know. I didn't want to lose my sanity again because that was the scariest thing I've ever been through. So I checked myself into rehab. Called this dude, the same guy that got us all out here, you know. It took me about 2 weeks, and then at first I thought it was like a set-up deal, you know. I thought that like maybe he was like, I don't know why he wants my social security number, but I'm gonna send it anyway. And then I hopped on a plane and flew 1,400 miles to come to rehab. So what helped me get clean was I flew 1,400 miles into rehab, so that way I wasn't around any of my surroundings back home. I got into a 90-day treatment facility. It's a really good facility. There's a lot of therapy, one-on-one therapy, group therapy, family counseling, couples counseling, just so much counseling really. And then AA, and I got a really good sponsor. Started working the 12 steps. What I'm most proud of myself for was getting on a plane and flying 1,400 miles to California when I had been up for 2 days because I was scared to death, you know. But since I did, I've regained my self-esteem, my sanity, my consciousness, you know. I can decipher reality from unreality, you know. It's like, it's amazing to me, you know. So what advice I would offer to someone that's still suffering would be just reach out, you know, get a sponsor, start going to AA, you know. Even if at first you're going messed up, just keep coming back, you know, keep getting that newcomer chip, because eventually you'll get tired of getting high, and you'll get clean, you know. Go to rehab. It's not that hard, you know.